Thank you for tuning in to the Student Organization Summit. Make sure to follow us on social media and check out the many other videos on this channel about working with and advising student organizations. And now, please enjoy your workshop.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Michelle Gardner. I'm an assistant director in the Leadership, Engagement, Activities, and Peer Mentoring office within our Division of Student Affairs at Northern Arizona University. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julia. I am a current graduate student in the Counseling Student Affairs Master's program here at NAU, and I am also the graduate assistant for student organization development under the LEAP office.
Awesome. So we are so excited to get to connect with you all and talk about something very special that we are working on. We wanted to kick things off, though, in a very Simon Sinek way and talk about our whys. So my why and why I'm here today, but also why we are in student affairs, is because I really believe that we have the chance to shape positive change agents, meaning our students, who will make this world a better place. So that's why I do what I do.
And my why is that I believe that we can encourage and empower students to become better leaders and become the best version of themselves.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and real quick, bring up our visuals for today. Here we go. Oops. So we are located in beautiful Flagstaff, Arizona. Northern Arizona sits at about 7,000 feet in elevation. We have snow, we have aspens, and really we're on a campus that has a passion for life outside.
We have nearly 30,000 students in our student body. That's in person here on the Flagstaff campus, online, and also at different statewide campuses. We currently have over 300 student organizations on campus, or over 350 active student organizations with academic, political, cultural, special interest groups, lots of variety to choose from. And these organizations are still very, very active this semester, despite everything going on in the world right now. We've had over 650 events and meetings this semester, and they have been a combination of online events. We've even had a few in-person events, so our student organizations are very active and very involved.
We also, just like many other groups, use campus labs, aka Anthology. We use the Engage system for organizations to manage themselves. So today, we want to share our vision for student organization development. We are calling this program Elevate. We all want our students to get involved in some way, right? We know that getting involved and leading really develops that good stuff in our students. And we know an engaged campus makes for a more successful experience in the classroom while giving our students essential skills that we all know they need in life after college. So that really was the framework and beginning of Elevate.
And we also believe that our office has a duty to elevate the student experience and also the student organization experience. So that's what Elevate is all about. We give support, we give direction. It kind of bridges the experiences of our student leaders to help them navigate managing people and leading people and giving them skills that they can use in the real world later on. We also, with this program, offer incentives rather than requirements to encourage participation without adding on a lot of requirements to student schedules, since student leaders are already pretty busy, especially now. So yeah.
Yeah. So before Elevate, historically, our student organizations have been rather independent forces. They still are, but training was very logistical and policy driven, and very little leadership development. And that's really that framework where we wanted to come in and be like, how do we actually develop student orgs? How do we actually develop these our student leaders. So they're not just given the logistics and the policies, but also given empowerment and that leadership development as well. So we're changing that historical framework, and here's our plan on how to do that. So I'm going to share a different screen real fast. Not that one. Ah, don't you love the Zoom life? Okay, let me bring up this bad boy. So, okay, so elevating, this is basically our framework for the Elevate program. So supporting student orgs in advancing, developing, and making impacts at 7,000 feet. And I'm gonna skip through so we can kick it off with how we're framing our communications.
Yeah, so to start, we have our NAU Student Org's Instagram account that is geared towards the leaders of student organizations, namely officers, but any member can also follow. And we give shout outs to organizations and encourage participation in events around campus. And it's just a little bit more of a casual way to reach students and make sure that they know what's going on in our office. And then we also have our Elevate newsletter. We have one for students and one for advisors. So the presidents of organizations get this newsletter, along with their advisors get a separate one, just to give a little bit more of a formal update of things that are going on every single month, which will definitely be helpful with Elevate to let them know what programs to attend and how to earn points. And we also have a website that we plan on developing for our Elevate program to we plan on restructuring it to make it more accessible to students and make sure that they know exactly what Elevate is and how to earn points and what incentives they can earn.
Yeah, and I think one of the important pieces is we know some students check their email. We know that email is not the most effective use of connecting with our current generation. So that's where, and the nice thing about Instagram is it's so easy to gather information and feedback about how we're doing, but also to instantaneously reach the students, the student org leaders, and also to have a consistent resource and information through utilizing the highlight feature on Instagram. And then we can go live with them. There's just so much good stuff. And if anyone is interested in checking out our newsletters, feel free to reach out to us. We have, we'll share our contact information at the end. We use MailChimp though, so that, and right now, given our audience, it's free, which is amazing. And we can gather instant feedback or instant information about who's reading it, how often are they reading it, what are they clicking on, all that good stuff. So it's been really, I think, a really huge benefit for our outreach.
Another huge aspect of our Elevate program is the training that we offer. So first we have the basics, which are the only 2 required sessions that students will have to attend. So presidents have to have a basics of student organizations training every single year, just so that we know that they're prepared to run their organization. And then treasurers every year have to have a training on financial basics so that we know that they're going to be okay with managing money. So those are our 2 required sessions. And then we also have workshops that anyone in the organization can attend on topics from recruitment to communication and conflict management, transition of officers, marketing and social media, really anything that they feel like they need, we can offer in a workshop to them. And in our Elevate program, that can help them earn points. In addition to that, we do offer one-on-one consultations with organizations or members of organizations on basically any topic that we would offer in a workshop, which kind of allows a one-on-one assessment of what their situation is and kind of allows us to give organizations more personal feedback. And then for our advisors, we are planning on offering an advisor summit where advisors can get together and connect with each other and learn really just how best to support their organization and the student leaders that they advise, and gives them an opportunity to learn from each other and share best practices.
Yeah, and sharing that historical framework, historically there hasn't been a lot for advisors, and we all know, I'm sure every campus has a different experience with advisors. You get everything from the mega involved advisors, there's student affairs people, they know all about advising, to those who don't really know a lot, but they're there to offer support when the club needs it, kind of thing. And so we really wanted to bridge all those worlds together to where they're a community on campus. And so we're excited to get to offer that summit very soon. So you've heard Julia refer to these points a few times, and you're probably like, what are those? And that's where this incentive program comes in. So we did a lot of research and on how that development, where does that development come from, and how do we make that happen? And that's where we are creating this incentive program. So right now, we are currently creating a list, or a calendar, if you will, of various trainings and events and programs on campus that we believe will create a better leader. So for instance, we have a diversity inclusion training, or we have a safe zone training, or there's various trainings offered through our health promotion office. And we want to utilize those trainings and workshops that already exist and connect and build a bridge to from them to our student officers, our student organization officers. So the incentive program is creating that list of opportunities and then sharing those with our student organizations and inviting them to attend these things that already exist. And again, we're also going to be connecting them with the student organization workshops and trainings. So let's say a student officer attends the mandatory training that they already have to do. They then will get points for attending that training toward their student organization. So it's connected to their organization, not connected to an individual. So they attend that Safe Zone that Ally program workshop. They then get points toward their student organization. We are going to break down the student organizations into bigger groups, because we have some student groups where they have 300 members, and others have 5. And we want to make sure that that they're getting the group that they're working within for the incentive program best represents, or best where it's accessible to all student organizations, not just those who have a ton of membership. So so even if you have 300 members and you have 5 members, you still have a similar experience to getting points. We will then track these points throughout the semester, and then we're gonna go and have a huge celebration for them and to offer incentives to those who have the top points. So some of the incentives that we have identified include, and this is, I think, the big one that everyone's gonna love, is organizational funding. So we're going to select so whoever has the top amount of points gets a certain amount of money to support their organization. We also want to, some other incentives that we're looking at include being featured through our NAU social media, which has huge exposure, huge benefits, including just getting a feature story with them could increase their ability to recruit new members, just a huge bragging rights, I guess you could say. We also are going to give them a free room rental on campus once they're able to meet in person. Getting a shout out by our Vice President of Student Affairs. We're hoping to one day do a pizza party or some sort of get together where we can fund them to have to just enjoy some food together. We have some other incentives in mind, but really we're seeking out from the student organizations through our Instagram account, what do they want? And because, going directly to the source, what do they want to receive? And we're going to find a way to hopefully make that happen. We used our own community to identify the various point levels. So Humphreys Peak is, these are all mountains that people know and love up in Flagstaff, Arizona. And so we're utilizing those to show where people fall in terms of their point levels. So we also wanted to beef up our recognition of our student organizations. Like I said, we all know being a part of the student org has huge benefits for the university, the individual, and that group. So we wanted to really show our appreciation for them. So part of Elevate is also recognizing our people. So we are planning a month-long celebration of advisors on campus. We're also wanting to create a annual recognition event for our student organizations, where they win prestigious awards, and hopefully we're able to go beyond just we really want to create meaningful awards, ones that they can put on their resume. So like the student organization event of the year, the new student organization of the year, that kind of thing, and really celebrate the work that our groups are doing. And then we're also wanting to work with our campus social media department to really recognize club efforts, and to really recognize and make sure that they know about the good events and the amazing things that our student clubs and organizations are planning. So what would we be in student affairs without assessment? So I'm going to go ahead and re-share over here our kind of now what we're about to launch. So what do we do now? So I'm going to have Julia kind of explain how we're going to plan to assess how we do.
Yeah, so like Michelle mentioned earlier, our Instagram account is really a great way that we can connect with the students. And even now we love to use stories and ask questions in the stories and have student organizations respond or make posts and encourage people to email us with any feedback that they have, or even just creating a simple poll in an Instagram story can really help us kind of evaluate where students are at and figure out, are these workshops beneficial to you? Are you missing something? What incentives are you interested in getting? And, assessment, especially throughout this semester, and checking in with students. And, this is the first time we're launching this, so it's really essential to do that. And then, at the end of the semester, checking in and seeing, was this successful? Did we accomplish what we wanted to accomplish with these organizations? So yeah, and we also hopefully plan on using a focus group of different members of student organizations just to kind of get a more in-depth response on what people's perceptions were of our program. So that is our assessment plan and what our plan for Elevate is. Anything else you wanted to add, Michelle?
Yeah, we're excited. We're doing a lot. Obviously, COVID messed up a lot of plans, but we are pivoting, as we all have been, favorite word of the year, and trying to find a way to make this still work where it's go time in spring. So we've planned everything. We are ready to elevate that lumberjack experience, that lumberjack club experience, and see how it goes. And I would just share, we shared our email on the slide here, studentorgs@nau.edu. Feel free to reach out if you have ideas or if you're curious how something goes. We've received a lot of great feedback from our campus partners and students. So we're just really excited to just keep elevating our student org experience and be resources for our students. So yeah, no, we're good. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks for tuning in to the Student Organization Summit. If you're watching this live, feel free to reference the schedule for the day and use the link in the schedule to access a Q&A room where you can ask questions or chat with the presenters from this workshop. If they didn't list a Q&A link, or you're watching this video after the event, thank you for your interest in the Student Organization Summit.